Alright guys, peace. Welcome to Breakfast and Readings. I am Jazz the Medium, and I am here with
Shelby Pressley.
I'm excited too. Oh my gosh. Shelby, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? Mind y'all, we've been talking. Oh, first, let me tell y'all where we at. We are at Toast and Berries. Shelby, tell them what you got. You got to tell them what you got.
So I got the lemon French toast. And so just as my history, so so Sunday through Thursday, I'm on a 1,200 calorie a day diet. So I only get 2 cheat days, which are Friday and Saturday. Today's a cheat day, and I'm about to inhale this. Like, I told Jazz, I was like, listen, as soon as I need to eat right now. Like, this is delicious. It's so good.
So let me tell y'all, I haven't seen her. When was the last time I saw you? Victory of Light? Or did I? No, I ran into you.
No, you ran into me
over by Cancun and Norwood.
Over by Cancun and Norwood, right at Zoo. At Zoo. Yep. I was getting lunch. Yep.
When I say she done lost one whole half of herself, I didn't even recognize her. So real quick, wait, tell everybody. So what did you get today? Let's talk about that first.
So what I got was the lemon French toast, chicken sausage, and scrambled eggs with cheese. Very fattening, very delicious. So good.
So I got the chicken and toast. It's a fried chicken breast with Nashville hot seasoning.
So good.
Yes, and I got French toast and salt cinnamon roll. When I say, girl,
you know it's good when you just stop talking, like you don't even the eggs. Like, eggs are so simple, but these eggs, oh my god.
See, I'm with her. I've been doing a smoothie a day. So I supplement a meal with smoothie. Then I eat a light meal and I eat dinner. So for the past 2 weeks, I've dropped about 6 or 7 pounds.
That's awesome.
When you get your cheat days and you get to eat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But see, even the thing like with cheat days is like, you still have to be cognizant about what you eat. So like for me, even on cheat days, like I'm not like going in, I'm being moderate, you know. I'm being moderate.
Right. So before we get into everything else, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about your weight loss journey. What started it and how because you look amazing. She looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, she was always beautiful.
As I stuff my face.
Always beautiful. But when I say her skin is glowing, her energy is radiating, I just want you to talk about your journey briefly because
So it's not a glamorous story. It started almost a year ago. So last July, during COVID. So it started actually at the beginning of COVID. So I was working at a college and had gotten laid off. And so because I was at home, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get outside. I want to go hiking. So like I would go hiking like every single day. I would do like different research on just different trails throughout Cincinnati, Ohio. And then one day in July, my best friend and I went hiking. And you know, in July, it's like hot. Like literally, Satan was in the backseat of my car asking if we were going to go to Dairy Queen. Like it was that hot. And so we were hiking and
he said asking if we were going to Dairy
like
Queen.
He was sitting in the back. Yeah. But I started not feeling well in the middle of the hike, and I had just chalked it up to the heat, and I was sweating really bad, like I was like really clammy, and like my best friend was like, you don't look good, we need to, you know, go. So got home, this was a Sunday, and I literally laid in bed all day Sunday and Monday, like pretty much all Monday. And so I didn't have any COVID symptoms, but I just didn't feel right. And so like I text, my sisters and I are on a group text message, and I text them like, listen, if I don't feel any better, I'm going to go.
Is it okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I'm going to go to the hospital. Didn't feel any better. Went to the hospital. I didn't trust myself like driving to like University or like Price because I was super like busy. So I made it to the nearest hospital, which was at Mercy West, because that's like maybe 10, 15 minutes from me. Made it there, got inside. They took all my vitals. They were like, you know, you seem fine. But then there was a nurse that said, let's do an ultrasound. I was like, I'm not pregnant. You gotta have sex to get pregnant. It ain't happening. As soon as she came back in with the results, she goes, so you're going into surgery right now. And I'm like, why? She goes, your gallbladder is literally about to erupt. She's like, the fact that you even made it here is crazy. She's like, you should have passed out by now. So basically, I had gallstones in my gallbladder, and they had begun to leak out. And if you know anything about your gallbladder, that's toxicity. And so I had toxicity running through my body. My body was actually going into septic. So I was literally dying. Wow. I was literally dying. So had the surgery, had to have 2 back-to-back. Was literally on bed rest for like 8 weeks. Couldn't walk. I had the equivalent to a C-section. That's what the surgeon said. I had 2 surgeons. He goes, you had the equivalent to a C-section without the baby. I was like, okay. So what you're telling me is don't have babies. Awesome. Great. Awesome. So anywho, fast forward, the journey of that is that my eating habits had to change. My digestive system is completely different. So there are things that I just really can't digest because it makes me sick. So because of that, I've lost weight. But then also too, not just being cognizant about what I eat, but actually working out, moving my body.
So what are some workouts that you do?
So I started when the surgeon said that I could get up and move around. One of my homegirls was like, there's this thing on YouTube called Walking with Leslie. And she was like, she's an older woman, but this woman will walk you around your house. And she told no lies. This woman walked me like no other. And so I started doing that. And then as I started to feel stronger, I started to incorporate like actual cardio stuff. So the one that I currently use now, it's on YouTube. It's called The Body Project. And it's 2 people. It's a guy and a chick from the UK. And they have 15, 20, and 30-minute interval workouts. And when I tell you the sweat that you're going to pour from these workouts, it is amazing. So I do that 3 times a week. And you can just do it from home because because I love to hike, that's been put on the back burner because of these cicadas. These cicadas are very disrespectful. They're very disrespectful. Very. Like, I don't know if you saw like on my Facebook post, like I fought like 5 of them and then 4 of them died, but that 5th one was a G. That 5th one would not die. Like every time I smacked it, it got back up. But
I had 2 on my hair. I was jogging the other day because I jogged, and one hit me right in the face.
See,
I was appalled at the disrespect. It said,
you know what I've seen that just is frightening but funny at the same time is the amount of risk that drivers are taking because of the cicadas. Like I have seen Fast and Furious on 75 because people are actually ducking the cicadas. I'm like, you do know you're in your car, right?
Yeah, they just run into my windshield like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's also just been an increase in car accidents.
Yes.
Because of cicadas.
Yes. Yeah.
That's scary too.
Yeah.
Like, my 5-year-old, I'm not afraid of him, but my 5-year-old is. And I was driving and one flew in the car and I almost crashed because she was going crazy.
Oh yeah.
I saw somebody in the backseat killing her.
Oh yeah. I told anybody for the next, because with the cicada lifespan is like 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. I think we're like week 4, going to week 4. I told everybody, like, listen, if you happen to drive with me, I already drive like I got 9 lives anyway. But like, if you happen to be in the car with me and the cicada gets in, just know I'll see you at the crossroads, because that just may be our last drive.
It's over.
It's over. So, you know. So that's my story in regards to
people with no air that got to ride with the windows down.
That was the first thing. When I found out that this is the 17th year, I literally went to Jiffy Lube, like, I need y'all to look at my ear. I literally pulled in, and some this big old guy was like, your hair's fine. I'm like, no, but I need it to be A1. So, like, he took like an extra 20 minutes, and so the air comes out amazing. But I know me, and I wasn't going to drive with the windows down.
You were smart, thinking ahead.
Yeah.
So, I just think, just from looking at you and seeing you and feeling your energy, because, you know, me and you, we've had some very intimate and deep conversations.
Absolutely.
I think that your transformation is just super amazing. So let's talk about what you've been working on. Projects, anything going on with work?
Yes. So
tell people who you are. Like, what do you do?
I'm a very multifaceted person. I think one of the things in this transformation that I'm going through is not limiting myself to just a label or a thing, just trying different things, you know? So my full-time job, the job that pays my bills, is I'm a high school teacher at a local charter school, but my new venture is writing. So I am now a columnist, an editorial columnist with Cincy Chic Magazine.
Cincy Chic Magazine. Y'all gotta check it out.
Yeah.
I love when you post them. I love reading them.
Yeah, so that has been super amazing, because I'm writing from a Black woman's perspective. And that's really how I came to them, you know. So
how did you come into that opportunity?
Again, so let me just say this. The universe makes no mistakes, right? Everything happens when it's supposed to, and in a way that you didn't even see coming. So back in November, I got nominated through Cincy Chic for, what was the title? The Chicest Educator Award. And so I ended up winning. And I've always been a fan of Cincy Chic. Like, I used to go to like their wine tasting stuff. Like, I read their stuff all the time. Again, I'm a wine drinker, so whenever I can get together with random women and get hammered, that's pretty much what I do. But I won the award, and the editor who called me to do the interview on me, I literally was just talking to her, and I was like, listen, I was like, this is probably super off key, off guard. I said, but I do have an idea, and I would like to share it with you. So my idea for her was, when it came to Cincy Chic, all the stories I would read, all the editorials, were really from women that didn't speak to really the culture base of Black women in Cincinnati, you know? And she was like, yes, that is very true. So she was like, well, she said, what I'm going to do is send you our editorial list for all of 2021. She was like, pick a few and just write on it. I said, okay. So I think I picked like 3. And one of the first ones was the Mother's Day one. And so I wrote that, and I sent it to her. I sent it to her like 4 or 5 times.
Just to make sure she got it?
Well, no. So for me, I was speaking from a very like emotional, personal place, and she was like, I feel it. She was like, but it's a little too. She was like, I feel like you could frame it another way. So,
okay.
You see what I mean? And so, like, I sent it to her again. She was like, yes, that's it. She was like, this is it. So, like, she sent it to the editor-in-chief. Editor-in-chief was like, put this in print. And so it got printed, or it went to print, and it went out the Friday before Mother's Day. So that was my first editorial that went out. So I've written now 4 that have been out, that are in circulation.
Y'all have to check her out. They're great. You have to teach me how to write.
I just write from my experiences. Like the last one was just about dating, you know? And so the title that I gave it was, I think the dating pool has pee in it.
That's what I like. So tell me, how is your dating life right now? Let's talk about that.
Non-existent. Very non-existent.
Mine too.
Yeah, I was just sitting here and I was sharing with her that I know it sounds super cliche, but I truly believe in the spark. I believe that when I meet my person, I'll know because I'll feel the spark. You know, and I just haven't felt that spark yet. I haven't.
You know what? I agree with you, especially if you're in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
It's like a knowing. Because I noticed that every time I've always went against how I really felt deeply inside, it doesn't work.
Yep.
It's like it's a knowing. It's like a subtle, calm knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told myself that if I don't feel that subtle, calm knowing, I am A-okay in isolation. I am. I enjoy myself. I still go out, have fun. You know, I'm happy. So I'm just very purposeful in my isolation. I'm very, I think it's important to be considerate of your energy and where you put it and who you give it to.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Absolutely. I'm definitely learning that. Where I spend my time, what I spend my time on is super important.
Yep.
It is.
You only got so many hours in a day.
Yeah. And for me, I had to relearn myself and reteach myself things.
That part.
You know, because like I wrote in the editorial, when you're in a relationship, especially if it's been a long relationship, you tend to lose yourself. Even the small, subtle things. Like your favorite, what used to be your favorite meal, if you're with somebody for 5-6 years, you forget that and it becomes y'all meal. And so if the relationship doesn't work out, which what happened to me, I didn't even remember what my favorite meal was because I was so used to eating what him and I ate.
Isn't that a humbling moment? Because I'm telling you, I was
humbling and very hungry.
I was in a 14-year relationship and I'll never forget, and it had ended 14 years, and somebody asked me what was my favorite food and I didn't know.
Yeah, so
I know his, but I didn't know. I was like,
so funny story. So you know, my last relationship was like 6 years ago. So I've literally been single 6 years, right? And I remember when the relationship first ended, I was not okay, right? And one of the things, so my favorite soft drink is Coke. I love Coca-Cola. But his favorite soft drink, not even a soft drink, it was a sports drink, was Gatorade or Powerade. And so because he drank it, I would drink it, you know? And so my first time going to the grocery store by myself after, because we had always went to the grocery store together, I'm walking down the soft drink aisle. I lost it. Like I'm talking about crying, snot bubbles. Because in my head, I'm like, what am I gonna drink now? Like it didn't compute. And like people were looking at me like, you know, so like I'm holding Sprite in one hand and like purple Powerade, and I'm just like, I'm not okay. And I think that's when it hit me that I had lost the most intricate pieces of myself, you know? So I had to reinvest in myself.
I think that's important. Also, when you're in a relationship or connection, it's very important to continue to reinvest in yourself.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
Reinvesting in yourself should never stop, whether you're with somebody or not. And anybody who pulls you away from reinvesting in yourself is not invested in you.
Yep. Or the longevity of the relationship. Truly. Because one of the things I've learned is relationships in any form, friendships, love relationships, they change. They change. And it's not necessarily bad changes. And I hate the word change. I like the word shift. Things shift. Right? Because as somebody that suffers from anxiety, the word change freaks me out. And there's power in words, right?
There are.
So if I tell myself this isn't a change and it's a shift, then I'm able to digest it a little bit more. And it's a little more easier. For me. I can't speak for everybody else, but for me.
So for those who out there who suffer from anxiety and stuff like that, take notes. This is a jewel. This is a gem.
Let me tell you.
Shifting your wording, especially triggering words, shifting them to make them more palatable for you. Not changing them or changing the meaning or being in denial, but shifting the word to make it palatable to you. Like, change for some people can mean chaos. It can feel chaotic inside, but if something is shifting, it don't feel as harsh as complete change. But they're in this situation or in this instance, they're the same thing. Take note of that. That's a gem.
Definitely, yeah. So that's been a journey too. This journey of anxiety, because I didn't know I had it. I just knew I had like constant thoughts and I couldn't sleep and my palms got sweaty and and I think what's so funny is, through my whole life I've always been the person that people come to and ask for advice, because I knew my stuff, especially professional stuff, and when I started to notice in myself that something was changing, and it had always been there, but it just got way higher. Like something as small as me going to a restaurant and me ordering something, and they maybe change the menu, would send me into a spiral. So the anxiety of things not being the same, or the anxiety of thinking about things that haven't even happened yet but could potentially happen, was just...
Have you ever wondered if it built up over time because you were holding things in?
Absolutely.
Sometimes we tend to... One thing that was difficult for me, and don't get me wrong, I've suffered from anxiety in the past. One thing I've learned that I had issues with, or I struggled with, was releasing.
For sure.
And then people would come and bring me things and talk to me, and I'll pile that on.
For sure.
Because I always feel the need to help people. You know what I mean? I'll pile that on. And then, I ain't forget you. We're back.
Technical difficulties.
But I would pile that on. And then my own stuff, I'll pile that on. So I have my family, my mom, my friends, and my stuff, and I'll pile that on. And after a while, I realized that things that usually would make me anxious, and it was to the point to where I'd be like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't even know why. Or I'd be like, I can't sit still. Like,
yep. I know it well.
Like I would, my anxiety would get so bad, I would wash and rewash clean clothes just to be busy so that I won't freak out.
I would do that with my dishes. I would rearrange my shoes.
You still doing okay over here? Mm-hmm. I'm still knocking it down. Let me know if you need any boxes, okay?
You know what I do? I am gonna need a box.
And a box lose more ma'am or no?
No, I'm gonna try to stuff this.
I might stuff it, but I got a box. I always take my Levier home a little bit.
Yeah,
because
that's sweet.
That's my best friend.
That's
she got to try something too. But I realized that I was not the best at. Thank you so much. I was not the best at releasing. So what I started doing when I stepped into my spiritual journey during my meditations is I got into a healthy habit of releasing. And sometimes when I can't release, I got friends who do things like, Reiki. I always say it wrong, Reiki or Reiki and stuff like that to help me release energy that's hard for me to release.
Absolutely.
I had a difficulty yesterday. I was really anxious when I went to see the personal trainer. And it was to the point where I was already tired and we hadn't even started yet. And he was like, "You okay?" And I said, I did a whole bunch of readings today and I can't release it. I kept stomping my foot trying to shake it out. Like I can't release it. And finally, I have these angel attunements, and one of the attunements I have is the Archangel Raziel. And I called on her for help, and I sat there and I prayed for about 2 minutes, and I slowly felt that energy release. Yeah. But there's this releasing your energy is like extremely important, because when you hold on to it, it just builds, it just stays there. Yeah. Especially if you don't have a healthy outlet. I like the fact that you go hiking outside.
Oh, I love hiking.
Girl, don't you love me?
I love hiking. That, again, universe makes no mistakes. That being my way to have the alone time that I needed. Because I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that if you're alone, you're lonely. But that's not the case. Now, that's not saying I don't get lonely or I wouldn't appreciate someone's companionship, but I'm not lonely, right? Like, my life is very filled with love and admiration and, you know, I would like it on a consistent basis, but nevertheless,
I had a lonely moment the other day. You get them.
I had several.
I had several. You be sitting down watching the TV like that.
And it took everything in me not to pull into Frisch's drive-thru and, you know.
Order a big boy.
Order a big boy, an impossible big boy.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely understand.
But you know, having those moments are okay. But the thing is, when you feel lonely all the time, that's when I think you need to take a deeper look at yourself.
Absolutely. I have quite a few people in my life that are going through that very thing and really struggling with their life's purpose. And again, I'm struggling with that because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm a teacher.
Have you ever thought that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing already? Look at how many people you know.
I mean, I just got done with the 21-day meditation from Deepak Chopra and Alicia Keys, and it was amazing.
You did it?
I did it.
I thought about it.
I did it every day. It was awesome. And one of the things that it really dove into was honoring the divinity in you. And that was a concept I had never even heard. And when I really started to research it and chew it up and digest it and regurgitate it, truly what it means is honoring whoever you are at that moment. At that moment. So if you wake up and you got an attitude, that is just...
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing that. I think I got too much memory. I probably got to take some off. I got a whole bunch of recording.
Gotcha. You know, if you feel a way about something, honoring that in you. Just honoring it in you. And then learning to share that with others. So right now, I'm in the process of learning boundaries and what boundaries are. Because that was a foreign concept to me. Wow. Super foreign.
It's funny. I feel like we're learning similar things.
Yeah, like it's because in the way I grew up, there was no boundary, you know? You just get up and did what somebody asked you to do, even if you were dog tired or, you know, because that was, in my head, the way you showed love. When in reality, it's not. It's not.
There's so much power in the word no.
It truly is.
And it's a complete sentence. You ain't got to explain yourself.
And that's always been my issue. Like, if I said no, I have to give a reason because I didn't want anybody to think that I was mean or, you know, uncompassionate. I ain't got to give you a reason for nothing. So that is what I'm learning currently. You know, how important the word no is and how important it is to honor myself.
I had to tell my son the other day, he called me. He was like, can I use your car to DoorDash? In my mind, I'm like, bro, you just totaled your car. You wrecked your car twice within the past month.
Right.
The second time totaling it. But I just said no. He was like, why? I said, because no.
Because no.
And surprisingly, he said, okay.
Yeah.
Got off the phone.
Yeah.
Look, he hasn't called me since. It's been 2 days. It's okay. I'm his mama. He'll need me. He'll call me.
Right.
But
right.
No. And I sat there and I felt good because my car is still in one piece. Let me be the reason my car is totaled.
Right.
But if you disrespect your own car like that you paid for,
yeah,
you're going to disrespect my car.
Yep. And so learning those different levels of how are you being true to yourself? That's what I'm learning. How am I being true to myself? You know? Because people throw stuff at you all the time, especially at work. I've learned it the most at work. Truly. Because I've always been the person like, oh, Miss Presley's gonna do it. She's gonna rock out at it just. And I'm sitting there doing it, and mofos living free and fancy. They going out and shucking and jabbing, and I'm all
you staying late.
Right, I'm staying late. I got what do you call the sweat beads coming down because I'm sending reports and I had to take a step back. Like, well, let me fall back for a minute and look at this. The totality. Let me look at the totality of this.
Girl, I learned that a long time ago.
Because something is off here
at work, and I just said, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? If it's not done, it's not done. I ain't tripping. Y'all understand? So what? Mm-hmm. That is not my problem.
That is not my boulder to bear.
I did my job duties. Mm-hmm. I did that.
Mm-hmm. That is not my boulder to bear.
As far as going over and beyond, no. Because if I was to die tomorrow or leave, y'all gonna replace me within a day. Y'all will lose no sleep.
I read something in an article that said, well, I actually read a few reports. One on CNBC and one on, I forget it. But anywho, it said how 65% of Americans through this pandemic have learned that they truly were doing their self-harm by staying in the job they were in pre-pandemic. Truly doing themselves mental harm, like mental health harm, emotional and physical harm. Because for them, the longer I push, they're going to see my worth, right? So if I stay till 5:30, or if I come in at 7:30, they're going to see how valuable I am, not realizing that everything else in their life is going to the wayside. Their relationships, their children, their internal happiness. And I was just like, wow.
Me working the way I work
in different industries, not just in one industry, just like in all industries.
All of them. Me working the way I worked as a nurse is what caused issues in my last relationship.
Yeah.
I was always at work.
Yeah.
Always working. My kids to this day, my older children, they throw that in my face. They're always at work.
Yeah.
You're never here.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to be more present at home. Even if it means sacrificing a few dollars, or even if it means us going without a little bit. Yep. We got a roof over our head, we got light, that's it. We got food. That's it. But I'm home. And I feel like you be thinking that your kids value you more if you can buy them more and do more for you. But they value you, they value your presence more. Just being home, being present.
Just being there, being able to just sit next to you, have a conversation. Yeah.
You still doing okay over here?
I'm definitely gonna need a box. I was a little too.
One check.
One check. You all done? Or you gonna box it up?
I'm gonna box that up.
I was a little too hopeful.
Yeah. It's very filling. It's rich. I didn't finish mine either when I got that. But my kids, just even if they just want to look in the room and see that I'm there, or even if they want to call me and I'll be like, okay, I'm right around the corner, I'll be right there. You know, it's just being present. Yep. Your kids just want to see you.
That's it.
That's it. They want to feel safe.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is, you know, I'm 35 now, and if someone had asked me like 6 years ago about kids, I would have been like, yes, hell yes, children. But I'm in a much different place now, and I'm not as pressed. Like, for me, in my head, I'm like, if it happens, it was meant to be. If not, then that's okay. Because as an educator, I'm around kids all the time. Thank you so much. I'm around kids all the time. And I'm still able to mother in different ways. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still...
And that's the thing. You still have a very motherly energy.
Yeah.
That's how I know you do a lot for the children that you teach.
Yeah. Like, I get calls from parents all the time. Like, I will literally be in my dining room on my third glass of wine, living my best life, my best bougie lifetime life, and I'll get a call from my mom that's like, "Dig, like, thank you so much for talking to so-and-so. Like, what you said really resonated." And because I'm tipsy, I start crying, but here nor there. But yes, to your point, I still feel like I'm able to mother, you know, regardless of if I bear my own. You know what I mean?
My best friend didn't become a mother until maybe her late 20s, early 30s.
Wow.
But she mothered my children.
Yeah.
She was there for all of their births.
Yeah.
She was there to watch them.
That's awesome.
She probably had to punish a few of them.
Yeah,
but you know,
that's
she's
awesome.
been there. So they look at her like a mother. So yeah, she still had that experience. And when she was finally able, she had PCOS, so she couldn't have children.
Gotcha.
But she like you, she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
she was able to have her child, you know, she learned everything from mothering my children. She was able to be. She's a great mom now.
That's awesome.
But she's still a mother to my children.
Yeah. I think, again, for me, I just think it's always dope when you do have younger people in your life, because generationally things change, and the things you thought aren't, and you're able to look through it from the perspective of their eyesight, like, that might have been a thing in 97, but it ain't a thing now.
Oh, right.
My students tell me that all the time, like, Miss P, that might have been a thing in the early 2000s, but we don't really.
Have you ever like looked at children in the way they move now and thought about, now I understand why parents be saying, like,
Absolutely, every day.
Sometimes I feel like a fish out of water when I be looking at these kids.
Every day.
These trends.
I'll literally be in my classroom.
I never thought I would get here.
I would literally be in my classroom, and even with the music, because the music is different.
Oh God.
The things they say, just their different slang terms.
If you can understand it.
Yeah, most of the time I don't. So one of the things I instituted in my class was every Thursday was Ask a Teacher Day. So it's like an open forum. They can ask me whatever they want, within reason.
Within reason.
And it's so funny to hear the questions. Like, a few of them are very surface. Like, hey, Miss P, like, what was fashion like in the 90s, 2000s, you know? And, like, I would tell them, like, you know, baby fat, you know, Pepe. They like, Pepe? Fuck is that? So me, being a nerd, I gotta pull up Google. I gotta pull up Google and show them, you know.
The big old huge tall Kanai pants.
You know. Thank you. Yeah, so, and then I think the week after that it was, what group were you in high school? Were you like a nerd? Were you like, and I said, honestly, that's a great question, y'all. I was like, I don't know what I was.
Me neither.
I don't know what I was.
I wasn't totally a nerd, but I wasn't popular either.
Yeah.
But I knew everybody.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I walked on the outside of the circle. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. I knew people. I definitely have my nerd tendencies, as I still do. You know, but I was still very up to beat. Knew what was happening. Knew slang terms. You know. So
I knew everybody, but I wasn't in the in crowd of anything.
For sure. Yeah.
It's been my entire life. Though.
Yeah. And
now
I feel like
it's like, why.
Yeah.
Never been in.
For sure.
Well, that is dope.
Yeah. So, like, the questions they asked me are hilarious. I think the last one before school ended, because now I teach summer school, it's only like 4 kids, but like when it was school kids, I think like the last question they asked me was, Miss P, why don't you have any kids? And I was like, I got you Negroes. That's why. Y'all get on my nerves. And it was like, oh, for real? I was like, no. I was like, but seriously, y'all. I was like, for me, I said, I feel like when it happens, it'll happen. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, like, I love to see things through their eyes.
It's me.
I love that.
I love that you give them the opportunity to ask you questions. I remember my 5-year-old asked me, was it black and white back then when I was a kid? I'm like, look, I'm not old. And her little, I said, was it black and white when you were a kid? No, it wasn't. We had color TV. We had cable.
Somebody
had a
had
big old cable remote that was that big and you chopped the buttons. Yeah, we had that.
I feel like what was it that somebody had asked me? They asked me about TV shows. And it was like, oh, Miss P, that one show was on when you was younger. The Jeffersons, right? I was like, I was born in 1985, y'all.
How do I look?
And then, this is what lets me know we, as a country, are not doing well mathematically. Because they was like, damn, 1985, man. Y'all ain't even have for real cars back. I stopped the whole conversation. I was like, you know what? Class is dismissed. Cars? For real? We ain't had no cars. How y'all think I got around? Horse and buggy? Y'all thought I was... Oh, okay. All right.
They real?
Okay. All right. And I felt like, you know, at first, no, he was like dead serious. He was like, y'all ain't even... I was like, I didn't say 1885. I said 1985.
We had cars.
We had vehicles in mass consumption.
That's what I be telling my kids. What year you were born? 82?
82. Yeah, they clutch the pearls. Damn,
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I be like, look now.
yeah.
Don't
But then I
stop.
get dope questions, especially about music and stuff, like the beginning of hip hop. You know,
I don't know about y'all, but my head is still stuck in the 90s. I'm like a 90s R&B fan.
I believe 90s. I believe 90s.
Some 90s R&Bs, they hit you different.
Like before I go to bed, I have to watch the Golden Girls before I go to bed. I've been doing it for years.
Oh my gosh, I love
That or the
Golden Girls.
Nanny. Like I can't go to bed without hearing Rose or Blanche's voice.
I just went on a whole Martin marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love you remember TGI Friday?
So when I was younger, if I had a good week in school, we would always get pizza and have like dessert or something like that and watch TGIF. And so when I think about TGIF, I always think about One Saturday Morning too, because the next morning, remember, it was One Saturday Morning and it was like all the cartoons like Recess, Pepper Ann. Do you remember Pepper Ann?
I remember Ann. We used to watch like the Looney Tunes and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
We used to watch all of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Good times.
Good times. My mom would cook a big breakfast on the weekends because my
Yes.
dad worked during the week.
Yeah.
And she worked third shift, but on the weekends she'll get up on Saturday mornings. We'll have that's when we had like Saturday and Sunday mornings. I mean, she'll cook pancakes, eggs, bacon,
The whole thing.
Now Monday through Friday, you just eating a bowl of cereal
Or toast.
or oatmeal.
Because my mama Deborah, here goes some toast.
Look, my mom was sweet because she worked third shift. You had to fix your own shit.
And then she would wrap it in aluminum foil. Like, who does that? Who wraps toast in aluminum foil?
Oh man, my mom, she used to make toast the best way. Not with a toaster, but she would crack the oven open a little bit and put the toast on the pan, put some butter on it. And
My Nana would do it with cheese. She would take just a regular slice of cheese, put it in there, put it in the oven. I was constipated a lot, but it was delicious. It was so good. It was so good. It's the small things you remember.
it's the most intimate, especially like now that my mom's gone. I miss all of that.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what I think
gosh.
about my dad. You know, my dad's been gone 16 years now, and every once in a while, like small details will, like things I forgot years ago.
It just come to you.
Yeah, it'll just come to me. Now I crack up.
Sometimes I think it's them coming to you to plant those seeds.
Oh yeah, especially through music. I hear it through music.
Yes.
If I'm just driving along, none of my business, and I hear Marvin Gaye or the Shot Lights.
My mom was Anita Baker, but she be driving with her cigarette in her hand, moving from side to side.
For sure.
Like that.
For sure.
With her coffee.
For sure.
Or her Coke. Her favorite was Coke.
See, again, the spirit of Coke takes me over. I love Coca-Cola.
Take it to concrete.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I definitely feel that way. I definitely feel like, our ancestors, the people before us, definitely visit us. Like, so I don't know if you saw my, because it was true. So a couple days ago, I woke up, it was like at 1 a.m., and my electricity was off, like everything was off. And I was sweating so bad. Like my scarf had slipped off, like it was bad. And like I'm hot through my sweat. I'm looking for some type of light because I ain't got no light. And I swear to you, I heard one of my ancestors tell me, "You are so bougie." You are so bougie. Like, I don't know why you're like this, but you are super bougie.
They're like, who raised you?
And I felt away. I was like, excuse me? But again, once it came back on, I had to laugh because obviously I don't know who it was.
They
but
had to speak to you. They had to bring you down to earth. Like, tell me about yourself.
Like
real
have
quick.
several seats, ma'am. It's gonna be back on in like an hour. But like I was looking for some type of air. I was opening windows, turning on fans. Yeah.
They said, hold on, let's step in for a moment.
Yeah, whoever
told
it
you to be
was,
this
it was
way?
definitely a woman. It was definitely a Southern woman because I heard
That twang, that Southern twang.
like, you are so bougie. Like, like what? This is not okay.
Your ancestors were sick of you.
I was pissed too. But once I had time to think about it, I was like, yeah, you're right.
I'm telling
I
you,
was
your
super bougie.
ancestors will call you out.
Oh, for sure.
Quick
For
story,
sure.
and then we'll get out of here. But I gave this girl, oh, we're doing great. This lady, I gave her a reading, and at first it was about her relationship, right? Like, I knew it was infidelity, but I didn't mention it yet. When we went into the mediumship part, all her ancestors
Went in. They went
I was
in.
like, yeah, somebody. I was like, yeah, they're saying that somebody's being unfaithful. She's like, yeah, he ain't no good. I was like, they talk about you. She got quiet. She was like, well, I mean, only a few times. I'm like, nah, they're telling me more than a few.
But I think that's so dope, though. And so this is the last thing I'll say, because I know we got to get out of here. But I think that's so dope, though, because as I continue to read, as I continue to research, especially about those that have crossed over, how their personality truly doesn't change. So then I think about the older men and women I knew, hood as hell, and how that hood ain't went nowhere.
Never.
Right? And it's even more vibrationally hood, because it's like, yo, you really out here being stupid.
They will talk to you like that, and they will tell you about yourself. So before our time comes out, if anybody wants to reach you or get in contact with you about your editorials or where to find you at, please share with them who you are.
Absolutely. So I do have a business Facebook page. It's Shelby Speaks. So you see a lot of my stuff on there. You can add me on there. You can follow me on Instagram under Honeybee 1018, and then my normal Facebook, which is SC Pressley.
It was so fun having you here. It was such an honor. Such an honor. And of course, if you want to reach me, I'm Jazz the Medium everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm just Jazz the Medium. My website is jazzthemedium.com. Girl, I love TikTok. jazzthemedium.com. I'm everywhere, but I'm just Jazz the Medium. It don't change, okay? I try to make it as simple as possible. I ain't one person over here. I'm just Jazz the Medium. Across the board.
Right.
So if y'all need anything, please hit me up. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Breakfast with me. Thank you. I knew this was going to be a good one. People can't wait till I upload it, so I knew it was going to be a good one. So it was good. Hope everyone has a good day. I'm going to. Peace.